Alright guys, welcome to Prep, Cook, Plate, and Repeat. This is another weekly video we're doing today. Some really nice buttermilk fried chicken. We're going to do a nice coleslaw, and we're going to do some classic mac and cheese with a little twist. Stay tuned. Alright guys, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to prep this chicken out. So we got here some nice chicken thighs, skin on, bone is in. So we're going to show you how to remove the bone. If you can find boneless at your grocery store, local grocery store, that'd be perfect. So here we go. So we put it first on its back, skin down. We're going to make an incision along the bone. Go along the bone with the knife. Just make sure you don't cut yourself, right? First make an incision down, then turn it around. Take your knife, get underneath that bone, right? Cut that bone, cut all that cartilage out. Drag your knife, run it down along each side of the bone, and then slowly it's going to start separating from the skin. Make sure you don't take all the skin with you because that's the good stuff, right? Start cutting around that knuckle at the bottom. You see I'm starting to expose that knuckle? Cut around it, right? Keep cutting until all the tendons are loose, and that's it right there. Alright? Next thing you do is you're going to flip over the chicken and we're going to give it a little manicure, right? So you want to start cleaning the skin off. The skin is great, but we don't want excessive amount of skin. Come around, any loose ends, clean up tightly. Turn your chicken around and look for any maybe blood spots that you may not like, that you don't want. You want to get rid of those. And see if there's any leftover cartilage from that bone you removed. See here, there's some cartilage here that's not going to cook out. You can braise this, you can do whatever to it. It will not come out, so you gotta make sure you remove that, because that's really chewy and we don't want that. Once that's removed, right, we're gonna take our chicken, we're gonna place it into our buttermilk mixture here. So we have buttermilk, and we're gonna have a seasoning that I made. So in here we got oregano, garlic powder, garlic salt, onion powder, chilies, and chili powder. So you're gonna take 2 tablespoons of that mixture. And in the link below underneath, you're going to get the recipe of the quantities of the spice that we made. I'm going to take that, I'm going to whisk up that bad boy. Oops, excuse me. Alright, whisk that up real nice. As you can see here, incorporate that nicely. Take your chicken, dunk it right in there. Alright. Now you can do 4 or 5 pieces of chicken is fine to this amount, the ratio that we have here. Like I said, this is a great family meal night. This is great for the kids, for the friends that come over. Now it's totally up to you. You can literally go right now from wet batter to dredge, or you can let this sit overnight or maybe for 6 hours. I recommend letting it sit in buttermilk, letting it tenderize. The enzymes in the buttermilk break down the chicken, the toughness from the chicken, so it gives you a nice tender piece of chicken. Alright, so once all your chicken is incorporated in there and you're ready to let it marinate for a few hours, even overnight, take 2 tablespoons of your favorite hot sauce. It could be Frank's hot sauce, it could be Cholula, it could be Texas Pete, whatever you like kind of hot sauce, right? Just take 2 tablespoons, throw it in there, and that's for a little bit of heat so that can penetrate the chicken. Get in there with the spoon, mix it all around, right? Incorporate that. Once that's ready, like I said, leave it for a few hours and let it marinate. Alright, so next thing in the process, once your chicken has sat for a few hours overnight, or a la menu, it's totally up to you. You're going to take your chicken, tongue would help so you don't get your hands dirty, right? Any excess dredge, take it off. We don't want our flour to be clumpy. So in this bowl here, I have equal parts. I have 2 cups of potato starch and 2 cups of cornstarch. The reason I'm using that is because it's a lot crispier. It'll develop a better crust when it fries instead of flour. If you can't find potato starch, then cornstarch is totally fine. So once you put it in here, right, each side, dust it a little bit using this tongue, or you can use your hand, whichever you like. It's totally up to you. Coat it really well. Right, once it's done being coated, make sure you get all the little creases in between the chicken. Just like that. And that's perfectly coated chicken right there. So how many ever pieces you have, it might be 4 or 5 pieces of chicken. Same process on each one. Dump it into your mixture. Coat it nicely so every part of this chicken is coated, right? If it's not coated, you don't want your chicken to burn up. We're gonna ditch the tongs. We're gonna go right in with our hands. Right, just like that. Dust off any excess cornstarch mixture and put it right down. Put it in here. Same thing. And boom. That's beautiful. Alright, so the next thing, once your chicken is all breaded, all ready to go, you're gonna have your oil. Nice, fresh, clean oil. It could be vegetable oil, it could be canola oil, whatever you prefer, whatever you like to cook with. You're gonna put it in a pot. I'm using here a Le Creuset, which works the best, I believe, with an enamel inner surface is better. And you're gonna heat up this oil to 350 degrees. You're gonna keep it. You can use a thermometer, you can use a candy thermometer, whatever you have at home is fine. Just make sure this oil hits 350 degrees. We're gonna gently and carefully place our chicken into the oil away from us, right? So away from us is this way. You want to hear that sizzle? That's what you want to hear right there. So right now I'm going to be frying 2 pieces of oil. Two pieces of chicken at the same time. If I go in there with a 3rd piece or a 4th piece, it's going to drop the temperature of the oil and it's going to start to boil it. And we don't want to boil it. We want to make sure that skin is extra crispy. It's delicious, it's juicy when it comes out the fryer. You're going to leave this in here for a good 10 minutes. Once you start to see a golden brown color, you can take your thermometer, puncture the chicken. It should be anywhere from about 165 to about 180, depending on how brown you want it, how golden crispy you want it. So let this go for about 10 minutes, and we'll be back. Alright, so once 10 minutes has passed, you check out your chicken, and this is what it should look like. Nice piece of chicken, crispy, right? Have a landing tray or something with some lined paper towel just to catch any excess grease, because we don't want to eat the grease, we want to eat the chicken. Alright, that's how it is, and then just to check it, that's what you should be hearing. That's what you should be hearing, that crispy crust right there. The coleslaw that can go with that fried chicken, right? You want a side dish to go with it. So what we have here is we have a half of a green cabbage. You can do green cabbage, you can do Napa cabbage, Savoy cabbage, whatever cabbage you like to buy or you have in your local grocery store. I got some julienne red onion. I did half of julienne red onion. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add some nice Brussels sprouts. So we're going to do a little different coleslaw. Alright? Get our knife. We're going to cut the Brussels sprout. As you can see the stem here. We want to cut that stem off. Right? And then what you want to do is you want to peel away at the layers of leaves. We're not going to cut the leaves, we're going to serve them whole just like that, the leaves. More of like a rustic style, right? So just keep pulling. If you can see that if it's attached to the root, take your knife carefully, cut down, and just let go of that, right? Just like that. Just like that. Okay, another one. Once you get to the center of, it gets a little lighter, it gets more bitter. You don't really want to use these pieces. Right, you want to use the vibrant green pieces of the Brussels sprouts. That's what all the real flavor of it is. Again, grab your knife, cut down on it, and just gently let go of those leaves while breaking them apart. Just like that. Once we're done with that, you gotta do your dressing, right? So our dressing is going to be half a cup of mayonnaise. Okay. Get it all in there. Then we're going to do a 1/4 cup of vinegar, and in this vinegar I diluted 3 tablespoons of sugar and 1 teaspoon of salt. You're going to take that, you're going to pour it right on top of that. Right? Next thing we're going to do, we're going to get it in there. Probably best to get in there with our hands. Makes it easier. Get in there, start to mix all that beautifulness up. Mix that up, mix that up. See any Brussels sprout leaves stuck together, just pull them apart. And then once that's done, you can slice some scallion, you can slice any sort of fresh herb you like. It could be parsley, it could be tarragon, it can be, it's totally up to you, it's, you know. And then that's how you make coleslaw. Alright, so next thing, once your chicken's all fried and ready to go, instead of using some regular store-bought hot sauce or whatever it may be, to dip it in. We're gonna make a quick hot sauce. It's really, really easy to make. So you're gonna take about a cup of your favorite hot sauce, whatever it may be, right? And put it on there. That's what you want to hear. You want to hear that noise right there. Get that going. Real hot. So 1 cup of your favorite hot sauce, and then we're gonna put a 1/4 cup of honey right in there. So we're gonna be making something called honey hot sauce. It's really, really good once it's done. So 1/4 cup of honey. Get that in there. What we're gonna do is you're gonna mix it together. Mix that really well together, right? You can use a silicone spatula or you can use a whisk, whatever you like. Alright? Now you see how it's a little loose right now? We're going to cook this for about 10 minutes. And you're going to see once we come back in 10, the color is going to be different. The reason is because we want the honey to caramelize. Once that honey is caramelized, then the hot sauce is ready. And you're going to be able to see the viscosity when you do it like that. It's gonna hold in the spatula. Alright? So we'll be back in about 10 minutes when this thing is ready. Alright, so now it's been about 10 minutes. As you can see, the color of the hot sauce. I'm going to bring it to the camera a little bit. See that color, how it's changed? You see the bottom of the pan, how it's completely coated with the sauce? That's what you want. Before, when we put this on, it looked like it was very watery. Now, it falls very slowly off the spoon. That's what you're looking for. That's the viscosity. Other thing we were looking for was the color. Look how much darker now it is. It was a light red, now we're looking at really dark red. That's from the honey cooking. So once this is done, you can put this in a mixing bowl. You can take your fried chicken that you made and then just toss it. Or you can put this on the side of your plate if you're not a big hot sauce fanatic and you want to just, with every piece you dip it, it's totally up to you. But this is a really simple recipe. You probably most likely have these ingredients in your house, honey and hot sauce, like I said. So enjoy, guys. Alright, so now you took that sauce, you toss it with your chicken. I'll just demonstrate one real quick. I'm going to take this chicken, dump it in that sauce that you made beautifully. Put it in there. Nice. Put that to the side. And then you can garnish this with fried sage if you like. You can do some spring onion, scallion, whatever it may be. Right on top of that, there you have it. There's that fried, beautiful buttermilk fried chicken that we let sit overnight, and then we fried it with some cornstarch, potato starch, and then also we made a beautiful coleslaw here from Brussels sprouts, red onions, and Napa cabbage. The recipe will be in the link below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow us on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook, and we'll see you next week for another video.